Coming back.
Rachel, could you look down front row to the...
Rachel, hands your arms up, please. Rachel, press your side now for everyone.
Over your shoulders you walk, Rachel.
Keep hearing for me. I like a bit of shouting it. It's good, isn't it? Now to just kick her up, please.
And holiday.
Holiday.
Down the front row, please.
Just back over to the left. Ian,
Ian, just look at the corner, please.
Laura and Sam. Sam, Laura.
Front row, please. Just here.
You two guys. Laura here.
And Laura, let's have a big smile. Laura.
So just back over to your left.
It was an incredibly closer. That's lovely. That's lovely. Thank you.
And then next to him, please. Thank you. Rachel, next to me as well, please.
And at the end here, please. Looking here. Just kind of picking her brain, but also feeling like on the edge of my seat whilst filming this moment. It's kind of Oh yeah.
You know, we were going to tomorrow.
Quite young, and then I never had a
Sent 15 so far, and they've all been really slow.
one, I said the composer.
I'm sorry.
Very close. It's very, very close. Yeah, very faithful. It was written in the 1950s, so it has a kind of modern sort of edge to it. So this is kind of modern possibility of mistrust and betrayal. It's very good to have someone that you can work with that you used to take.
It's unusual as an actor. You're very used to just not actually do one thing and do something.
It's not always. It doesn't always make sense.
The manifestation is denied.
Would it be okay for us to get a photo with him for the site as well?
I think when she wrote it,
No, that's fine.
To give her what? Instead, he ends up falling for her. And then it becomes a story of is she or isn't she? That's there is another way of doing it. Working with Rachel is yeah, sure. I'm allowing myself to live. So Philip is a young man who has been to university and believes that he knows all there is to know about the world. He has a guardian, a cousin, who is ill and unfortunately goes to Italy and gets married and then dies, but Philip suspects there's foul play, intends to go over to confront said widow, to which she's disappeared. She then appears on his doorstep back in England, and he falls for her. She kind of always tested me and tried me and would change her mind or like alter so subtly a performance to make me kind of go, you know, I was totally in awe, and she has this incredible aura, this sort of magic about her that, you know, I was cast under her spell. Like, she completely swept me away. He knows what he wants and he gets it, and if he doesn't get it, he keeps going until he gets it. And I think that was quite it's quite nice and refreshing to kind of play a very honest and childish almost. It's so boyish charm. It's quite refreshing. I hope it entertains people. I hope people, get wrapped up in the story, within the characters and within the world. Well, I mean, I think there are elements of it that are relatable to an audience, any generation, really. I think every man has fallen deeply, madly, crazily in love with someone else, and every woman has as well. I just feel like there are elements of it that kind of keep you guessing and keep you wondering why.
I play a widow who's either grieving the loss of her husband and is in great pain and in a vulnerable state of mind, and arrives in England to return her husband's possessions to his cousin, the young man played by Sam Claflin. And then Sam proceeds to fall in love with me, and depending on how you interpret my character, she's either just seeking refuge with him and being a free-spirited, sexually liberated, financially independent woman who doesn't want to get married in order to be secure, or she's a manipulative femme fatale. Sam really brilliantly portrayed. I mean, he puts it as it's about a man who thinks he's a man and then he becomes a boy because he falls in love so violently for the first time. And I think he really portrays that, that complete losing your mind. I mean, I think when you first fall in love, it is like a powerful madness, and he really portrays that very strongly, I think. The script's very faithful to the book, and it was a page turner to read. And I finished it. I got to the end, and I was like, "Did she or didn't she?" And I called the director, and he said, "I don't know, and I don't want you to ever tell me if you decide." So it was a fun game. Well, I made a decision about whether she was guilty or innocent, so I wasn't playing nuance. But the plot puts it together in a way that it makes it very ambiguous. But I made a decision as to her guilt or innocence, but it's a secret from the director, and I've actually never told anyone. So I want people to argue, go out on a date or go out with a mate and go out and then have a big discussion about it.
I play Sam's legal guardian, and I've always been in charge of the sort of finances. He was an orphan child, and during the course of the beginning of the story, he loses his older cousin who's always looked after him. He's had a very close relationship with. So I suppose I become his primary father figure and try and guide him to behave slightly less erratically than this gorgeous beauty is making him behave who comes into our story. So yeah, I suppose I'm the clear thinking, rational mind in the piece. We all really gelled as a group, a company. It's a chamber piece. There's not that many actors involved, and we all loved doing it. She's a perfect fit. You think that you never quite know what comes, but a great actress makes it look like she was born for the part, and that's what she looks like to me. I couldn't imagine another actress doing it. She's brilliant.
I play Louise, who is Nick Kendall's daughter. Nick Kendall is Philip's godfather, and Louise and Philip have been childhood friends. And as Louise gets older, she's definitely started to feel far more for him than just friendship. But Philip's kind of doesn't even notice. And then Rachel, Philip's cousin Rachel, enters his life and completely turns his world upside down, and therefore completely changes the relationship that Philip and Louise have. And so from that point on, Louise becomes or has to take a back seat. I loved the script, and then I read the book straight away after reading the script for the first time, and I think Roger's managed to stay very faithful to the tone and the mood of the book. I definitely came away with it with lots of questions about the ambiguities of relationships and trust and what you present to people and what you choose to restrain, and I think that's kind of what will come out of this movie. If you think about a lot of the kind of 19th century novels like Jane Austen, and it's always like this nubile young girl that's kind of been that's been shown the world by a much older guy, and this has been turned on its head. So it's and Philip's very naive, and Rachel's a much worldlier, emotionally aware person, and so it's interesting to see those kind of the gender roles reversed. We're so used to reading books that ask us to, use our own imaginations and kind of make decisions for ourselves, and you very rarely get that in film, or mainstream film anyway. And I think it's just far more interesting. People are complex, and the world is complex, and relationships between people are complex, and that's what this film says.
The plot moves like a ride at a fun fair, full of twists and turns. It's edge of your seat the whole time. It's a lot of fun. We never know whether she's a good person or a bad person. We never know whether she's a gold digger or a perfectly innocent, independent woman making her way in the world. It's important to me that you come out of the theatre not knowing whether she's good or bad, and that you end up going to the pub and having an argument with your partner about it. I think that's what we've made, a really engaging switchback thriller where you have to decide for yourself. Rachel Weisz carries off the role brilliantly. She's, as you say, nuanced, complex, skillful, brilliantly cast, and possibly completely innocent. Well, he starts off as this sort of handsome, rugged English hero, and then he goes a bit nuts. He becomes sort of addicted to the Rachel character. So he ends up like a sort of junkie, really. He carried that off, that journey, very, very brilliantly. He's a great actor.
Hi movie fans! Keeping with the drama movie theme, I've got a list of great movies based on real-life drama. Catch Me If You Can, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. Erin Brockovich, starring Julia Roberts. A Beautiful Mind, starring Russell Crowe. Remember the Titans, starring Denzel Washington. Men of Honor, starring Cuba Gooding Jr. Coach Carter, starring Samuel L. Jackson. Apollo 13, starring Tom Hanks and Kevin Bacon. Changeling, starring Angelina Jolie. The Blind Side, starring Sandra Bullock. Raging Bull, starring Robert De Niro. What's your favorite based on real-life drama movie? Let me know in the comments below, and remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell to always receive the latest trailers the moment they are online. Bye bye!